So today we're here to talk to the lovely Prue MacSween, well-known Australian publicist, social commentator, TV personality, radio personality. But something you probably didn't even know about Prue was the fact that you never really wanted to be a mum, did you?
Not really, no. I mean, probably because I was so focused on my career, and I'm a bit old-fashioned. Having been a latchkey kid, you know, because my father died when I was young, so mum had to go out to work. So you're letting yourself in the front door and there's no one home. I thought, no, I don't want to expose a kid to that. So basically I just decided career first. Loved children, but just loved everybody else's, just not mine.
But then, of course, you meet Chris, and he has 3 children. He
Yeah.
got a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old,
12-year-old.
and a 12-year-old.
Exactly. So, this is the man who was the man of my dreams, but he came with all these extra little accessories. So what I did was in virtually audition them, because I thought I ain't taken on a whole heap of crap and trouble.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and basically stepkids can be, because of either they're being used as a tool by the other parent, a way of getting back at the parent. So I met these really 3 charming little individuals
Thank
who'd
God.
been raised so well. You know, they
Yeah.
were country kids, they had really old-fashioned values, so disciplined and well behaved, and I thought, yeah, you can fit into my life.
And they all moved in with you straight away,
They all
pretty
moved
much.
from the country to the city, and I had to give up my bachelorette pad
Oh, dear.
and get this home, a family home.
With real bedrooms and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then worry about, well, what do kids eat for breakfast, and is that wholesome, and school lunches. And I think my first welcome to motherhood was the 7-year-old, Susanna, who'll kill me for saying this, called me into a bedroom the second night they were there and said, oh, I've got an itchy bottom. And of course had her legs wide open, and I had to investigate.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was sort of my welcome to motherhood.
Yeah.
But very rewarding, at times very frustrating. You want to kill them.
Absolutely.
You know, particularly as there were 2 girls, and once they discovered makeup, you know, I'd go to work and suddenly be rushing home to go to a function. Where's my makeup? Or, you know.
And you met with Ronald McDonald when you get home with lipstick everywhere.
So, you know, you have to just chill a bit and realise that it doesn't matter if the house isn't as tidy as it would have been, all those things, because there are so many other wonderful things about being a parent.
So you're absolutely not a wicked stepmother?
Absolutely not. I didn't try to be their mum, even though really I was their mum for more than their mother in a lot now with the time gone. But, you know, I always used to talk about their mum and say, you know, how's mum and what would mum have done? Because I think it's really important. You know, these children have been through a separation, a divorce, having to move away from their other parent. You know, it was a big traumatic thing for them. So I thought it was important to involve their mother in their life, and also not to try and take her role, but be like an aunt almost.
Yeah.
Even though I call them my kids. I don't say my stepkids, because I really look at them as my kids.
And what do they call you, Prue?
Prue. They call me Prue. And
tell me they say Prue. Do they say
Prue?
Prue?
They call me everything.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They're hilarious kids.
Yeah,
actually.
good.
A lot of great character. We've never had any trouble with them. You know, so that's something that I have to say is a testament to their father. You know, he was a great dad. There was a lot of love, laughter, but discipline in the family. They were good kids.
So do you find, Prue, there's always that one thing that you say that when you were growing up you thought, you know, if I had kids, there is no chance in hell I'm going to say that? Something your parents said to you?
Look, probably not, because, you know, I mean, I tend to be totally embarrassing with my kids anyway. I can't remember that my parents said anything terribly embarrassing other than, you know, you're going to be in big trouble when you get home, because I was always a naughty one.
Surely not.
You know, they do cringe, because I used to, you know, I tell all their friends, you know, sex education, give them, you know, because so many parents are derelict in that duty.
Very
Never
much
talk
so. Yeah.
about the birds and the bees. So I was giving them the whole full shebang from very early in this piece, because you've got to arm them with this kind of information. I didn't want a bunch of pregnant kids on my hands.
No, that wouldn't have been a good thing. So what do you think the best piece of advice that you could give to someone who's now about to have children, or they've met someone and their husband has children, etc.? What would you say to them would be the best piece of advice you could give?
Yeah, well, I think, you've got to keep a sense of humour. You can't treat them as just your friends. Too many parents want to be friends with their kids. You've got to give them parameters. Kids need that in their lives. And that means, there's no phones at the dinner table. Have dinner at the dinner table. That's where you actually connect with the kids. Don't let them disappear into their bedrooms with the door closed. Make sure that you are a true family in the essence of what a family is, but also celebrate the fact that each of them's an individual.
And is there a punishment that you've given that you've gone,
oh no, never that. I mean, I'll always give a punishment. I'll take devices off them. I won't let them go to something. They've been grounded for a week. All those things. But generally, I have to say my kids are really pretty good. The little irritants that they have, I can cope with.
So your laziest parenting hack, what would it be that's incredibly lazy, do you think that you do?
Probably, I hate housework, so I used to love having helpers. They all got chores to do, so that was great. So probably... oh gosh, well, just embarrassing them at the worst time. I tend to do that with all their friends, but they liked it. I think they thought, people who know my public persona know that I tend to be out there, so they've just got to accept that I'm going to say what everybody in the room's thinking, but has never wanted to say it.
So, Prue, your proudest moment, each of your children, they're now, how old are they now, Prue?
Well, they're 22, 20 and 17. Look, what I love about them, they're charming people. I can take them anywhere and they're delightful. People really warm to them. They've got a beautiful warmth and personality. They're very compassionate kids. They've overcome adversity in their lives. They had issues when their mum and dad separated, and they've just become really strong people who I want to spend time with, and I'm very proud of them.
I just want to see you driving the kids, no makeup, hair all askew, that's me, the tracksuit pants, looking like I shouldn't have been in charge of children. But driving them to school, what sort of mum were you? Were you the Lorna Jane tight-wearing mum, or were you the tracksuit pants? Or look at you now.
Normally I was on my way to work.
Yeah.
I remember taking Susanna, the youngest, to school for the first time. She'd only been in Sydney for a very short time. So I took her in and I grabbed two little girls and said, this is Susanna. She's from the country. She doesn't know anyone. I want you to look after her, and if you don't, I'll come back and tell you off. So these dear little girls grabbed her hands, and Susanna was mortified that
Absolutely.
I'd said that. But, generally the kids lived near schools, so they took themselves off. I didn't do that. And I have to say, apart from being at the school canteen, I used to make sandwiches at a couple of the canteens, but I used to lecture the kids about not buying lollies and stuff, so I don't think I was asked back very often because that was the profit of the school.
What would you like? Go away, you can't have those
don't
things.
have that. Have an apple, for goodness sake, or a carrot. You don't need this sugar stuff. So I used to give little lectures every time I went there, which is probably a bit embarrassing too.
I can imagine you in the canteen with your heels on going, Dal.
Exactly. You want me to butter what?
So Prue, at the end of all of these interviews, we do a Fast Five segment.
Yeah.
And the Fast Five is based on would you rather. So I have 5 questions for you. So would you rather live in a world without books or in a world without music?
Books, because I love reading.
Yeah, very
so to me a holiday is measured by how many books I read.
100%. So would you rather, and I love this one, would you rather age from the neck up or age from the neck down?
Oh, well, look, to be honest, from the neck up you can fix it. I whack so much Botox and fillers into my body. But if you can't move, and if you can't, still have a good old toss in the hay. What else is there?
About sex now. You've opened the door.
What else is there in life? So get the facelift, get the Botox, but make sure you keep active.
And even with the boobs, you can get them lifted back up anyway. Who cares? So, Prue, this is probably really appropriate for you. But would you never be able to speak again, or always have to say every single thing that you think of?
Well, obviously the second thing, you know, I tend to sadly run off at the mouth, whatever comes in my head. But I believe communication is so important, and people don't communicate enough.
Do you think, I mean, people obviously, do you try not to be PC, or you just think, you know what, I'm going to be Prue?
Well, it comes
Prue.
naturally to me. I don't go out of my way, but I just really find it offensive that people are seeking to gag us. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so another would you rather. Would you rather go without the internet or go without ever travelling anywhere again?
Oh no, travel to me is everything. You know, I just love holidays, and the minute I'm on the plane coming home, I'm planning my next one. To me, it's just the best way to open your eyes and to educate you and to meet people. And if more of us travelled, perhaps we would have less wars and conflicts.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last one, would you rather, my kids are watching this, I have to always say these words, would you rather every time you did a pop-off, a big purple cloud appeared above your head to alert the world? Or would you rather Donald Trump follow you around like he did during the second debate to Hillary Clinton, always standing within 1 metre of you?
Well, if you were going to do a fart, probably that would be good. God, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Oh, look, see, I don't mind. I'm quite refreshed by Trump. I know he's offensive in a lot of ways, but I am so sick of our political elites who are, career politicians who are doing nothing, who are so out of touch with what the rest of us want and feel that we need, that if Trump shakes them up a bit, good on him.